Let's talk about the cone of experience. The cone of experience is a visual representation that suggests different levels of retention and engagement based on the type of learning experience. Dale proposed that learners retain information more effectively when they are actively involved in the learning process. According to his model, the cone illustrates a range of learning experiences from passive to active, with the most effective learning occurring at the highest level of engagement. In preparing to become a teacher, there are elements that should be taken into consideration. One way of putting it is in the 8 M's of teaching, and each element contributes to ensuring effective instruction. So, what are the 8 M's? One is the milieu, or the learning environment. The second one is the matter, the content of learning. The third one is method, the teaching learning strategy. And the fourth one is the resources of learning, which is the material. Number 5 is the media, where communication in teaching and learning is being discussed. Number 6 is motivation, where arousing and sustaining interest in learning is being tackled. Number 7 is mastery, the be-all and the end-all of learning. Number 8, and lastly, we have measurement, or getting evidence of learning. So, what is milieu, or the learning environment? The learning environment can have a significant impact on a learner's engagement, motivation, and ability to learn. We have physical setting and social setting. In physical setting, the physical setting refers to the physical surroundings in which learning takes place. It includes the classroom, lighting, temperature, sitting arrangements, and the equipments. While in social setting, it includes the interactions between learners, the teacher, and other stakeholders in the learning process. It can also include the social norms, expectations, and culture of the learning community. Creating a positive learning environment, or milieu, can enhance learners' engagement, motivation, and retention of knowledge. Teachers and instructional designers can promote a positive milieu by paying attention to the physical, social, emotional, and intellectual aspects of the learning environment, and by designing learning experiences that are engaging, relevant, and meaningful for learners. We have the matter, where it refers to the content or subject matter that is being taught or learned. It represents the specific information, concepts, principles, skills, or knowledge that is being conveyed to the learner. The content of learning can vary depending on the subject, level of education, and specific learning objectives. It can include various academic disciplines such as mathematics, science, literature, history, art, or any other field of study. The content of learning can be presented through various forms such as textbooks, lectures, multimedia resources, hands-on activities, or digital platforms. It may involve factual information, theories, principles, problem-solving techniques, practical skills, or critical thinking abilities. Let's proceed to method. It refers to the instructional strategies, techniques, or approaches used to facilitate the learning process, and it represents the specific ways in which information is presented. Skills are practiced, and knowledge is acquired by learners. Teaching methods can vary depending on the subject matter, the learning goals, and the preferences of the educator. Well, here are some commonly used in teaching methods. We have here lecture, discussion, demonstration, cooperative learning, and inquiry-based learning. So let's start with lecture. This method involves the teacher delivering information or explanations to the students through a structured presentation. It is often used to provide a comprehensive overview of a topic. In discussion, students actively participate in groups or class discussions. They share ideas, ask questions, and engage in critical thinking and problem-solving activities. Discussions encourage collaboration and the exchange of perspectives. In demonstration, it involves the teacher showing learners how to perform a specific task or skill. It can be particularly useful in subjects that requires hands-on learning, such as science experiments or art techniques. Cooperative learning involves small groups of students working together to achieve a common goal. It promotes collaboration, communication, and teamwork skills while fostering a supportive learning environment. While in inquiry-based learning, students actively explore topics, ask questions, and conduct investigations to construct their understanding. It promotes curiosity, independent thinking, and discovery. Material refers to the resources or instructional materials used to support and facilitate the learning process. These materials are designed to provide learners with information. Examples are activities and opportunities for practice and application of knowledge. Learning materials can take various forms and formats depending on the subject matter and the instructional goals. Here are some common examples. We have textbooks, handouts and worksheets, visual aids, multimedia resources, and online resources. In textbooks are written resources that provide organized content, explanations, and exercises related to a specific subject or discipline. They often serve as a comprehensive reference for learners, while in handouts and worksheets, these are printed digital materials that provide supplemental information, exercises, or practice problems related to the learning content. They are typically distributed to learners during or after instructions. While visual aids include charts, graphs, diagrams, maps, photographs, or illustrations that enhance understanding and visualization of concepts or information. They can be used to simplify complex ideas or make abstract concepts more concrete. Multimedia resources include videos, audio recordings, animations, simulations, or interactive presentations. These resources engage learners through visual and auditory means, making the learning experience more dynamic and engaging. In online resources, with the rise of digital technology, online resources have become increasingly popular. This can include ebooks, websites, online courses, educational apps, or learning management systems. Online resources provide flexibility and accessibility to learners, allowing them to access materials anytime and anywhere. The next one would be media. It refers to the various communication tools and technologies used to convey information, engage learners, and support the learning process. Media encompasses the channels or platforms through which instructional content is delivered to learners. Well, here are some examples of media commonly used in teaching and learning. The first one would be video media. Video media includes recorded videos or video-based resources such as educational films, documentaries, instructional videos, or video lectures. Video media can provide visual and auditory stimulation, demonstrate the processes or procedures, and engage learners through storytelling. The next one is the online media. It refers to digital resources and platforms accessible via the internet. This can include websites, online courses, ebooks, online articles, educational apps, social media platforms, or learning management systems. Online media offers flexibility, interactivity, and access to a vast range of educational resources. The next one is the social media. Social media platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, or discussion forums can be used to facilitate communication, collaboration, and information sharing among learners and instructors. They provide opportunities for discussion, peer interaction, and the sharing of resources and ideas. Motivation in the context of learning refers to the internal and external factors that arouse and sustain interest, drive, and enthusiasm for learning. It plays a crucial role in determining the extent to which learners actively engage with the learning process and persist in their efforts to acquire knowledge and skills. Motivation can be categorized into two types, which is the intrinsic and the extrinsic motivation. In intrinsic motivation, it refers to the inner desire and personal enjoyment that individuals experience when engaging in an activity or learning something new. It is driven by the internal factors such as curiosity, interest, and a sense of competence, the satisfaction derived from the mastering a skill or understanding a concept. Intrinsic motivation fosters deep engagement, self-determined learning, and a long-lasting passion for learning. While extrinsic motivation, on the other hand, involves external factors that drive individuals to engage in learning due to external rewards or consequences. This can include receiving grades, praise, recognitions, or tangible rewards. While extrinsic motivation can initially encourage engagement, it may not sustain long-term interest and can sometimes overshadow intrinsic motivation if overemphasized. Educators can foster a motivation in learners by deciding learning experiences that tap into their interest, providing meaningful and relevant tasks, creating a supportive and engaging learning environment, and helping learners set achievable goals. By nurturing intrinsic motivation and aligning external motivations appropriately, educators can enhance learners' drive and enthusiasm for learning, leading to more effective and enjoyable educational experiences. Let's proceed to mastery. Mastery learning approaches emphasize individual progress and mastery of specific learning objectives before advancing to more complex content. It involves providing targeted feedback, additional practice opportunities, and tailored instruction to support learners in reaching mastery. While mastery is an aspirational goal, it is important to acknowledge that the pursuit of mastery is a lifelong process. Learning is a continuous journey, and even individuals considered experts in a field continue to deepen their knowledge and refine their skills. By fostering a mastery-oriented mindset and providing opportunities for deep understanding, critical thinking, and practical application, educators can support learners on their journey toward mastery and ensure a more meaningful and impactful learning experience. The last one is the measurement, and it refers to the process of assessing and obtaining evidence of learners' knowledge, skills, or understanding. It involves using various methods and tools to gather data that indicates the extent to which learning has occurred and the achievement of learning outcomes. We have a few examples where getting the evidence of learning can be done. We have the tests and examinations and the observations. In tests and examinations, this assess the learner's knowledge, comprehension, and application of concepts through structured questions, problem solving, tasks, or essays, while in observations, it allows educators to assess learners' behaviors, interactions, or performances in authentic settings, providing insights into their skills, attitudes, or social competencies. Measurement in learning serves as a valuable tool for educators, learners, and educational institutions to gauge progress, make informed decisions, provide targeted support, and continuously improve the learning process. The next slide would be the Edgar Dale's Cone of Experience. Edgar Dale's Cone of Experience is also known as the Dale's Cone, and it is a visual representation that illustrates the varying levels of abstraction and concreteness of learning experiences. It was developed by Edgar Dale, an American educator and communication theorist in the 1960s. The cone represents a hierarchy of different types of learning experiences, ranging from highly abstract and symbolic forms of communication to more concrete and immersive experiences. The levels in the cone represent different degrees of learner involvement and participation. At the very top, we have the verbal symbols, which is highly abstract as they bear no physical resemblance to the objects or ideas that they stand for. These verbal symbols provide no visual representations nor clues to their meaning. As for the example, we can say that writing a word horse does not look like a horse because it is written in alphabet form, nor it does not sound like a horse nor feel like a horse. Verbal symbols encompass activities such as reading, listening to lectures, participating in discussions, or any other form of communication that predominantly involves spoken or written language. This level of learning relies on the interpretation and understanding of abstract symbols such as words, sentences, and concepts. The next one is the visual symbols. Visual symbols refer to a level of learning experience that involves the use of visual aids to enhance understanding. Visual symbols provide a more concrete and visual representation of information compared to verbal symbols. They are an important medium for communication and learning. Visual symbols are often used in conjunction with verbal explanations to create a more comprehensive learning experience. They can help learners visualize and comprehend abstract concepts, making the learning process more accessible and engaging. By leveraging the power of visuals, educators can enhance the retention and comprehension of information. We also have the recordings, radio, and still pictures. Recordings, radio, and still pictures are forms of communication and learning experiences that fall under the category of visual symbols in Edgar Dale's Cone of Experience. In recordings, it refers to audiovisual materials that have been captured and preserved for later playback. These include recorded lectures, audio recordings, video recordings, or multimedia presentations. Radio broadcasts can be considered a subject of recordings. While they primarily involve audio content, they can also include elements of visual symbolism through sound effects, music, or accompanying visuals on websites or mobile applications. And the last is the still pictures, where it encompasses visual presentations or representations that do not involve movements of or animations. This includes photographs, illustrations, diagrams, charts, or any other static visual contents. All these forms of visual symbols aim to enhance learning by providing visual cues, supporting explanations, and engaging learners' visual senses. The next slide includes motion pictures and educational televisions. Motion pictures refer to films or videos that present a sequence of moving images. They often incorporate sounds, dialogue, music, and visual effect to convey a narrative or depict real-world scenarios. While educational televisions refers to the television programming specifically designed to inform, instruct, and educate viewers. By utilizing motion pictures and educational television effectively, educators can bring subjects to life, stimulate critical thinking, and provide learners with engaging and memorable learning experiences. On the sixth level, exhibits involve physical displays that allow learners to interact with objects, artifacts, or multimedia presentations. They can be found in museums, science centers, art galleries, or other educational institutions. It's important to note that exhibits can be positioned at different levels within the cone of experience, depending on their specific design and interactive elements. They may involve elements, visual symbols, dramatizations, contrived experiences, or even direct, purposeful experiences depending on the level of interactivity and engagement they provide. The next level is study trips. It is also known as field trips or educational excursions. It involves taking learners outside of the traditional classroom setting to explore real-world environments, institutions, or sites that is relevant to the subject matter. They provide a direct, purposeful experience that enhances learning by immersing participants in hands-on, experiential learning opportunities. On the next level, we have the demonstrations, and as we all know, demonstrations involve live examples or presentations that allow learners to observe and experience the subject matter firsthand. They provide a more concrete and engaging learning experience compared to verbal or visual symbols alone. As per Dale's Cone of Experience, it is stated that demonstrations can be positioned as a more immersive and interactive level compared to verbal or visual symbols. They provide learners with a closer experience to the real thing, fostering engagement and enhancing retention. Demonstrations are especially effective when combined with verbal explanations, allowing learners to receive additional context and insights from the presenter. We are down on the third to the last level, which is the dramatized experiences. So, in dramatized experiences, learners become active participants assuming specific roles or characters within the stimulated scenario. They may engage in dialogue, problem solving, critical thinking, and collaboration with others. By immersing themselves in the experience, learners can develop a deeper understanding of the subject, explore different perspectives, and practice relevant skills. The next one is the contrived experiences that are carefully designed learning environments that stimulate real world situations or conditions. They often involve the use of props, equipment, technologies, or artificial settings to create a realistic content for learning. Contrived experiences can be found in various educational settings such as training simulations, laboratory experiments, or virtual reality scenarios, and even mock trials. During a contrived experience, learners actively engage with the simulated environment and interact with the elements within it. They may encounter challenges, solve problems, make decisions, and observe the consequences of their actions. This provides learners with a safe and controlled space to practice and refine their skills, and it can apply the knowledge and develop critical thinking activities and abilities. And now we are down to our last level, which is the direct purposeful experiences, which refers to the actual encounters with the real world environment, objects, or phenomena being studied. This involved hands on engagement, active participations, and direct interaction with the subject. Examples of direct purposeful experiences can include fieldwork, experiments, internships, practical applications, or community service projects. While during direct purposeful experience, learners directly observe, manipulate, and engage with the subject. They gather data, conduct experiments, analyze results, solve problems, and make connections between theory and practice. It also provides learners with the opportunity to apply their knowledge, skills, and abilities in real world contexts. And that would be all. Thank you.